Welcome back to a Beekeeper's Diary podcast. We're a week later. In fact, what is the date? Where are we at? 26th of April 2026. I'm back. It's a bit earlier in the day. It's 10 o'clock. I've got afternoon appointments, so I've come for an earlier inspection, which is probably good as it's quite hot today. Hear blackcaps singing off to my left. Let's get an idea of what the temperature is. Oh, it's only saying 12 degrees, but it feels a lot hotter than that. I was sweating doing my inspection. So where are we at? My nuke. I don't like these bees, I have to say. I've opened the nuke up, and normally nukes are very meek and mild, but this gang, as soon as I got onto the second frame, they were all investigating my veil, and I don't know if you've ever experienced that banana-y smell. Normally you get it from quite defensive hives. After you've had a good rummage through them, you get a banana smell, which is the pheromones they release. Very rarely smelt it, but I'm getting it off these bees nearly every time. Not fun, although they're not stingy, they're just followy and up in your grill. And as I keep the bees maybe 120 metres from where someone likes to garden, I just can't have that. I don't want to accidentally, bring bees to his garden that are aggressive and defensive. So I've got a responsibility to make sure I don't keep those types of bees. So I'm going to see if I need to requeen these bees, because the generation after this are going to be worse. So I went through that. The queen was on the first frame, which is still being built out. It's a foundation frame, a frame with just like a guide for wax that the bees build out, if you're not aware of what foundation is. She was having a scuttle about on there. I went through the other frames. There's stores coming in. There's still space for her to lay. There's pollen, so I'm going to leave them in the nuke for another week. I've just slightly moved the frames around, so a plain foundation frame that was on the outside, I've moved it inside. As there's a good flow on and there's nectar on, I've moved it inside the pollen barrier where the pollen begins, but not broken up the brood nest, which is what I like to do. If you're trying to get frames built out, you can do it either side. So I popped that in. So that's good for another week, but I need to start building frames when I need to bring them on to a full hive. Then I went into the main hive. This is week 2 after Queen-ageddon, or week 1 after Queen-ageddon. So God knows what's going on below the queen excluder, but I'm not going to look for at least another week or 2 to give the queens a chance to fight it out, get mated, settle down and start laying. There's nothing to be gained from thrashing through there currently. So above it, I have now I had on 1, 2, 3. I had 3 supers. The smaller boxes we use for collecting honey. I had put a super on last week, and all 3 are full of glistening nectar. Nothing's capped off yet. I'm wary of oilseed rape setting in the frames, but I've not seen any locally, and they don't seem to be getting overly yellow pollen bees coming back. But they've obviously had a good week of collecting stores, so I've added on a 4th super, plain super. So I've got 3 full of stores been evaporated down, so I've given them space to be able to move the nectar about and reduce its water content, and then start sealing it off. So there's potentially at least 60 pounds of honey there already, so that's a good going. So already better than last year. I'm going to go home, see if anyone's selling queens yet, and enjoy the rest of the beautiful weather. Just sitting here now, as I say, I heard a blackcap off to my left, robins, there's the odd swallow zooming about, and there was a crow mobbing a buzzard overhead as I came in. Blackbird singing away. A lovely little spot when you're not being harassed by grumpy bees. Had an amazing experience last weekend where I heard nightingales for the first time. There's a guy down in Sussex that organises evenings where you go sit around a campfire and various musicians come and play, and he sings. He's a folk musician, an English folk musician, sings songs about nightingales and the like, and then you all walk out into the woods in complete silence and darkness to find the singing nightingales who call all night at this time of year. And then the musicians settle down, we all sit down around the nightingale, and the musicians play and the nightingales sing, and it's an incredible experience. I was lucky enough to enjoy that. So yeah, if you're in the UK, look that up, Singing with Nightingales. It is down in Sussex. I think there's one in the Bedfont area as well, but it's not run by the same guy. But if you like natural history and music, it's amazing. There's also tawny owls screeching around, barn owls scaring everyone. Yeah, it was brilliant. Highly recommend. Oh, I can hear skylarks as well now. Chiff chaff. Yeah, brilliant. And the M25, the local motorway. Right, I'll stop waffling on, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Thank you to everyone that's listened. There's, I think I'm up to 217 different cities people have listened from now. Madness, but welcome. Hello, how's it going? I'll catch you next time.